My friends, welcome back. I wish I was greeting you on better terms. This is not a video that I want to make. It's about a nightmare that has not ended for 2.5 months. Qatar Airways. Never fly them. Ever. You look online, they have good ratings. What was it? Skytrack gave them Airline of the Year. That is complete garbage. They don't deserve any of that. Don't believe me right now? Check out their Better Business Bureau page and then come back. They are an absolute miserable excuse for an airline. They don't deserve to be operating, and they give Qatar a terrible name. I've been to Qatar. During summer, it was extremely hot, but I had a wonderful time. People were very kind. The Islamic Museum of Art was beautiful, and the food was delicious. I had a good time there, but their national airline is the subject of my video today. An absolute disgrace of an airline. This started at the end of March this year, 2022. My partner and I had finished traveling for 3 weeks through the UAE, Jordan, and Egypt. We had a fantastic spring vacation in the Middle East. The end of our trip, we had a flight booked from Cairo to Doha, Doha to Bangkok, Bangkok to Tokyo. The flight cost each of us $900 or so. We were looking forward to it. We were looking forward to having a nice flight home after a wonderful vacation in a truly beautiful part of the world. We get to the airport, which will be the subject of another video. The Cairo airport is an absolute dump. Oh man. You walk into the airport. This will be the short version. You walk in, you're searched by security. You put your bags through the scanner. Austin, why are you complaining about that? That's normal, especially in the Middle East. I get it. Your stuff is put through the scanner. Security pulled me aside. Open your bag. Sure. I have nothing to hide. I open my bag. Take everything out. Okay. I'm not here to start a fight. I took nearly everything out till they found something that showed up on their scanner. I had bought a tower of the Burj Khalifa. One moment. This guy right here. Now it was in a box, and I don't know what it's made of. They can't see through it on their scanner. Fine. There's something suspicious. I'm happy to clear up any confusion. But the way that they went about it, yelling, take it out of the box. What is this? What's inside? They tested it. Of course, they found nothing. They suspected this had C4 inside of it. Then they told me very rudely, put everything back in your bag. This entire interaction, they were rude. No manners at all. So I put everything back in the bag quickly, and they said, go. Again, I'm not here to argue. I wasn't there to argue at the time. I just wanted to get the flight to go home. So we get to the check-in, Qatar Airways counter. Go to the front after waiting for about 30 minutes in line. It's 11:30 p.m. Our flight left at 1:30 a.m. We had 2 hours, which would be just fine. Get to the front, go up. They say, okay, show us your documents. You know, it's COVID season. You need, what did we need? We needed some immigration papers. We needed a PCR test. We needed health insurance for transiting in Bangkok, passports. I needed to prove my visa, that I had a visa in Japan. At the time, Japan wasn't letting foreigners in. They're still kind of weird about that, but not the point. Took everything out, handed it to them very neatly, very nicely. They looked through it, and they said, your PCR test is the problem, sir. What? What's wrong? Now, before the trip, I researched very carefully to see what's needed to come back to Japan, right? Who wants to get stranded? For the transfer in Bangkok, health insurance that covers at least $20,000 in medical expenses, plus a negative PCR test. The PCR test, which the Japanese website clearly states, is fine in either English or Japanese. Either one is okay. Don't believe me? Check out the website. Who knows if it's changed by now, but that's what it said. Very clear. And it said that in English and it said it in Japanese. They said, your PCR is a problem, sir. What's the problem? You need a PCR in Japanese as well as English. What? No, I don't. I showed them the website. It does not say that. It says English is acceptable. This is English. Can you speak English? Do you know what English is? He said, no, it must be in Japanese. You need to go to the Japanese embassy, get your PCR translated into Japanese, and come back. No? Before this trip, both of us did research into what was required. That was written nowhere on any Japanese immigration website, on the Japanese embassy's website for Cairo, for any airline's website. We checked Qatar Airways. We had a connecting flight with Japan Airlines. Not there. This turned into a 30-minute thing with me saying, look, here's the proof that we don't need this. And him saying, no, you do. It says in the computer here that you need Japanese PCR. And he showed me the screen. It said Japanese PCR required. Now, Japan has some requirements that they want on their PCR test, like the method of the test that was done. This was 2.5 months ago, and I've been trying to forget it. But anyways, there's some requirements that you need on the test. We had every single one of them. Now, his system said Japanese PCR required. He took that to mean Japanese language PCR. Well, he was wrong. He would not admit that. So I kept pushing him, look, do your research. You are wrong. What was he doing? Did he make any phone calls? Did he search anything on the internet? Oh, he looked like he was searching. But he had a big smile on his face. Big smile. No mask during Corona time, so I could see his face clearly. He was smiling. He was talking to other workers, and they were laughing. They were having the time of their lives. Meanwhile, my partner and I are about to have a heart attack because we're being told that, the flight that you spent $900 each on, you're going to be denied. You can't fly home for something that doesn't exist, for a reason that is not there. We went back and forth during these 30 minutes. Him saying, you need a PCR in Japanese. Me saying, no, show me where it says that. I asked and this was the manager, by the way, who I'm talking to. I asked the ground staff who I was trying to check in with, while the manager was laughing with his friend, not taking this seriously at all. I asked the ground check-in guy, do you see a problem? And he replied, no, you should be able to fly. I don't see any problem. And I said, okay, great. Can I have my tickets, please? And he said, "Look, sir, I'm sorry. He's the boss. I have to listen to him." The guy was very clear. You need a Japanese PCR test. So tomorrow, and of course our flight was in 2 hours, tomorrow you need to get that translation from the Japanese embassy. Oh, maybe you can hear my dryer out back, my washing machine out back. Tails between our legs, we left. Booked the airport hotel because at this point it was 12:15 a.m. Nowhere to go. We had no more money too. Isn't that fun? We had a credit card, but taking a taxi back into the city, of course not. That's not going to work. So we had to stay at a $200 a night hotel at the airport. Stressed, exhausted, angry, confused. The next day we called the Japanese embassy, who told us very firmly, "We don't translate anything. You don't need that. What are they saying to you? They're crazy." We sent them all our papers. They said, "You're fine to fly." We called Qatar support in Egypt, and I went over it with them, told them every single document that I had. What did they say? I will quote, because I'll never forget these words. I quote, "Sir, what is the problem? You have every document you need. If the manager doesn't let you fly the plane, call the police on him." That's what he said. That's what he said. In an accent like that. Call the police on the manager at the airport. What in the hell would happen then? They'd probably arrest me for making them do their job. At that airport, no one likes to work. You make anybody go out of their way 1 millimeter to do anything, oh, they'll be furious. Call the police on the airport manager. Call the police. All right, so far the embassy agreed with me. Qatar support agreed with me. We contacted Qatar support Japan to be like, WTF? What's going on? What do we do? We sent them everything. They contacted Bangkok. They contacted Narita and Haneda. And they said two things. They said, your PCR is fine. It has everything that you need. You don't need it in Japanese. That is bullshit. And they also said your insurance is sufficient. It covers exactly how much you need covered. We needed $20,000, right? We had it covered for 100,000 Japanese yen, which by the awful exchange right now is 83,000 US dollars. Back then, probably closer to $88,000, $90,000. The point is, it was well over the minimum required. That's important. You don't think it is because why is Austin talking about health insurance now? They were saying the PCR is the problem at the airport. I'm getting to that. I gotta calm down. I can feel my heart racing. The stress, the frustration, the anger. I'm trying to be as calm and collected as I can to make this video, to get through to people out there that this airline is complete garbage and you should never fly with them. You should tell your friends not to fly with them. Story continues. Everyone told us that we'd been right from the beginning. The research that we did before the trip, the documents that we needed with the information written on them that we needed, everything we had done correctly from the beginning. They all asked us, why were you denied? Why can't you fly? Someone has an ego problem? This airport manager, forget his name, Esem Hassan? Well, he's a tiny guy, maybe like 5'2", goatee, thinks he's king of the world. He's the kind of person they put in management. who, when I'm terrified that I can't, that, we're terrified that we can't fly home, and he's laughing with his friends. He didn't take us seriously at all. He had something stuck in his head. Maybe he just wanted to assert some authority. I get it, COVID times. There's a lot more crap that you need to prepare and check. Of course, I get it. But when the person flying has everything they need, even shows you on the Japanese government's website supporting you, and you just ignore them. So we went back to the airport the next day. They told us the same shit. You can't fly. You need a Japanese PCR test. 30 minutes later of saying, look, we've contacted the embassy, the 2 immigrations in Japan, airport in Bangkok, Qatar support, Japan, Egypt. I called the travel agency as well. I forgot them. And they all said that we're right. You're wrong. We were through this shit yesterday. We had to buy a whole new flight. What about that? We had to buy a whole new flight. There goes another $900 each. We had to fight with them for another 30 minutes. They were telling us the same crap. You can't fly. You need the Japanese PCR test. Your PCR is the problem. No. No. Eventually, I got on to check his email. The Qatar support from Japan emailed him saying, you're crazy, what are you doing? They can fly. And they eventually just said, go back to the line. Yeah, during those 30 minutes? I forgot about that. This thing has so many layers. During this 30-minute time, where they told us, wait over here while we look into this. Oh, they were laughing. They were making phone calls. They were smiling. They were chatting. They were having so much fun. Who are these people that Qatar Airways employs? These people that they make manager at a big international airport. They claim to be the best in the world, but they have these people who don't know what they're talking about, who don't know the recent travel requirements, and have absolutely zero customer service skills. When you're dealing with a customer who, I'm a nice guy. I was polite, respectful to them the entire time. And they replied by laughing, not taking me seriously, saying that, oh, you don't have any idea what you're talking about. You need to do better research into what you need. It's an utter joke. Utter joke. So finally, they asked, how long have you been out of Japan? 3 weeks. Get back in line. They said it just like that. Get back in line. Got back in line. The ground staff gave us our tickets. Said, have a good flight. Never got an apology from the management. Holding us up for 30 minutes the first day, 30 the second. From their laughing, their very slow, uncaring behavior, they didn't care about us at all. When we finally got tickets, we ran to get away from that nightmare. So Austin, you must have gotten your money back, right? Right? It's been 2.5 months. And I'm finally making this video. We had to stay at the hotel at the airport, $200. Flight 1 and Flight 2, I want both refunded for this goddamn inconvenience. $1,800 each. 2 people, right? Plus about $200 of international phone calls that we had to make, calling immigration, calling overseas support, to be told that we were right from the beginning. I'm going to throw food in there too. Plus, Because of this, we missed 2 extra days of work, missed wages. You put all this together, we're at about 4,500, 4,700 US dollars that they owe us. Plus, I would say first class tickets anywhere in the world. At least. Austin, what'd they offer you? What do you think? What do you think? 35 emails later, they said, oh, you were denied boarding because your insurance was incorrect. They tried saying that my insurance covered 100 US dollars of medical expenses. $100 of medical expenses. What? What kind of insurance in the world covers only $100 of medical expenses? Who in the world would think that? Just for fun, I Googled cheapest insurance plans in the world for traveling, and they covered like $2,500 of medical expenses. This is what Qatar support told me. You were denied boarding because your insurance only covered $100 of medical expenses. Really? Now, it was in Japanese, and it said unit price, unit value, 10,000 Japanese yen. I did a rough conversion to $100. It's much less. But it said 1,000 for the unit, and then the value, it said 10,000 yen. So you multiply it together, you get about 100,000 yen. Is that right? 1,000,000 yen? Well, you get way over what we needed to fly. Wait, no, what was the math? So upset I can barely think and I can't do quick math. It ended up being, after converting, 83,000 US dollars. I remember that. I'm not going to search it right now. That's what they're saying. Because of the insurance. What? At the airport, not one person said a single word about the insurance. Not a single word. And yet now they're saying that's why they denied us? Now they're saying, oh, the PCR was fine. Really? Over an hour of arguing with your managers who have no idea how to provide decent customer support or even act as a decent human being. Over an hour arguing with them over solely the PCR test. I would beg to differ. Now, we gave them a Japanese insurance sheet, which they could understand. They didn't ask any questions. If they did, show them the English version. We had a Japanese insurance plan, printed it out, it came in Japanese. But they didn't ask anything. They didn't say, sir, I don't understand this. What do you mean? No. They took 5 minutes to check the insurance at the airport, gave it back and said, thank you. I'll quote the little manager again. The problem is the PCR test. Everything else is fine. And now, again, 35 emails later, I had to make about $25 worth of international calls via Skype with their customer service, which I had to get a phone number through contacting about 10 different people till someone gave me a phone number. I called them, how did you get this number? They tried offering $500. A bit shy, right? About 1/14 shy of what I'm owed. At this point, I'm owed a hell of a lot more for all the effort, the stress, and the complete disappointment in Qatar Airways. This video is about 25 minutes of me complaining about Qatar Airways. This was my experience. I get it, things happen when you're traveling, but it's how the airline responds that makes a difference. If they would have got back to me and said, sir, we've done an investigation, we are very sorry, and we'd like to make it right. They have not stopped avoiding the problem the entire time. They've taken zero accountability. I've received no apology. Then what about the staff laughing at us at the airport? That's a whole nother story. The best airline in the world? What a complete joke. What a complete joke. I'm not going to forget this. I'm not going to stop fighting. And I'm thinking what to do now. I've got some ideas. I've contacted a few lawyers who expressed some interest in it. I don't really want to put any more time into this. This complete nightmare. I'm a busy person working 18 jobs. And I get to keep dealing with this garbage. If you're still here at this point, thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening. Don't fly Qatar Airways. You do? Maybe you'll have a nice flight. But if something goes wrong, if there is a problem, and you count on their customer support to help you, they're not going to help you. They will only find excuses to not help you. They will only find excuses to not give you your money back. In my emails, I told them about 20 times it was not the health insurance, it was the PCR. And what did they reply? Sir, it was your health insurance that was the problem. The amount wasn't enough. You claim to be the best airline in the world, and that's your defense? That you didn't know how to read the unit amount? You didn't ask me? You didn't explain that at all at the airport, and you're denying me because of that? They didn't say a word at the airport. Their support claims they did. Had they said a word, I would have explained, look, that's the unit price. You can take out a calculator and do the math. Or here's the English copy. Again, you fly with them. Chances are you won't have any problems. But if you do, that is the big thing here. If there's a problem, what do you expect to happen? I expect a customer support team that actually listens to me, actually cares, tries to figure out what's going on and make it right. They haven't cared once. Their team at the airport treated us like garbage. Their support treated us like crap. I don't need to be the one telling you. I'm never going to fly them again the rest of my life. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that no one else does either. They don't deserve your business. Check them out on Better Business Bureau. See what other people have to say, not just me. Check out their Facebook page. On every one of their posts, you've got angry people complaining. There are a lot more people like me. But I think they count on us to give up, to get too tired to pursue it. It's been 2.5 months. I'd love to move on with my life. But the amount of money that they stole on a teacher's salary, it's over a month's salary for both of us. I can't afford to just lose that. But at the same time, they aren't offering me any help. So what do I got to do? Contact the lawyers who were interested in the case. Maybe making more videos like this. I've got a few news agencies that are interested as well. I have to give them more information. I don't want to put more time into this. But what they're trying to do is not right. They're trying to sweep a big problem under the rug. The complete unprofessionalism of their management. The excuses. Trying to avoid the problem. Pretty sure they did a risk assessment, and the risk assessment was like, we don't give this guy his money back. How much is it going to hurt us? Maybe some people are going to get angry. It'll be okay. Well, that risk assessment was wrong because I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to forget. They are not going to get away with having stolen this much money. Plus, for having such awful managers. So, guys, never fly Qatar Airways unless you want to be treated like garbage at the check-in. Told that you're a liar later. Have management laugh at you. Have them make up excuses later for denying you. This has been Austin talking for 30 minutes about a complete nightmare. Save yourself the trouble. Don't get involved with this airline. Yeah, I hope I see you guys next time on a better note than this. Ciao for now.